Congressman Buddy Carter. Congressman, you were personally affected by this. I understand you had granddaughters who were at that Camp Mystic when all this happened. They got out safely, but one of their cousins did not. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with your family. But tell us what it was like as you were going through this, knowing that your granddaughters and family were there.
Well, I would say it was July 4th, and I was at a parade in North Georgia, and my oldest son called me and told me what was going on. As you can imagine, he was very upset, and of course, it was upsetting to all of us. We didn't know at that time. We didn't know if they were okay or not. We found out later that they were okay, so it was a great relief. However, my two granddaughters were there with their four cousins, and one of their cousins, Janie Hunt, she didn't make it, and she's in heaven now, and God has wrapped his arms around her. But the whole cabin that she was in, the bubble inn, was washed away. And those girls and the two counselors there are no longer with us.
How are your granddaughters doing emotionally as well?
Well, it's tough, as you can well imagine. My son is there with them, and their mother's there. And, he had to sleep on the floor with them. And they're going to be getting counseling today and going through therapy. And it's just, this is a family tradition. They had 6 total who went from that family. My daughter-in-law went for many, many years. This was the 3rd year that my granddaughters had gone to that camp. It's a great camp, a Christian non-denominational camp. This is just such a tragedy. It's just awful.
Yeah, Congressman, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says that first responders, volunteers will not stop until every girl from that camp is found. What can you tell us about the damage and recovery efforts going away? I know the Secretary of Homeland Security was there over the weekend, obviously Coast Guard, Texas DPS. They're throwing everything they've got at this.
Well, I want to applaud the first responders, particularly Scott Rossman, who is a Coast Guard swimmer who saved 165 lives, including the 2 lives of my granddaughters, and I'm just very grateful for that.
Yeah, it's absolutely devastating to see, and we're so thankful that your granddaughters are okay. It's just shocking what we're hearing from Democrats at this time, wasting no time to blame these deadly Texas floods on President Trump, saying National Weather Service cuts and other staffing issues are responsible. It's absolutely ridiculous. Take a listen to this.
Austin's San Antonio office is missing a warning coordination meteorologist due to the Trump administration's buyouts. Do you have any indication whether those or other cuts helped play a role in the fact that the people in the flood zone were not prepared and certainly not evacuated?
When you have flash flooding, there's a risk that you won't have the personnel to do that analysis, do the predictions in the best way, and it could lead to tragedy. So I don't want to sit here and say conclusively that that was the case.
I'm speechless. What are your thoughts? And shame on CNN for even having that headline and even taking that angle.
This is disgusting. There's no question about it. I don't think you could have had enough people to predict that there was going to be a 26-foot rise in the river in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many people you had there. Now, look, there's going to be lessons to be learned, as there are in every tragedy. We all understand it, and shame on us if we don't learn those lessons. But at the same time, I don't think having more people would have helped at all. This was an act of nature that was truly a tragedy, and I'm not sure that it could have been prevented.
Yeah, to that point, Congressman, I would point out that the Associated Press says the San Antonio National Weather Service office had twice the number of staff working because of that. Yeah. And even NPR, again, no friend of Donald Trump or conservatives, said the flash flood watch came out 15 hours before the flooding. Right. The flash flood warning came out 5 hours before the waters came in. This had nothing to do with budget cuts that haven't happened yet.
But yeah, as you said, Congressman, 26 feet in 45 minutes, nothing could be done anymore. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for telling your story. We're thinking of you and your grandkids.
Thank you very much.